27, 28 in chapter number 5. Anybody would like to read this verse?
May I, Prabhuji?
Yes, please.
Text 27, 5.27. Hare Krishna. Sparshan kritva bahirbahyams chakshuschaivantare bhruvoho pranapanau samo kritva nasabhyantaracharinau. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Anybody would like to read the next one, 28?
May I continue, Prabhuji?
Yeah, you can.
यतेन्द्रियमनोबुद्धिर्मुनिर्मुक्षपरायणः विगतेच्छा भयक्रोधो यः सदा मुक्त एव सः. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shutting out all external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between the two eyebrows, suspending the inward and the outward breaths within the nostrils, and thus controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence, the transcendentalist, aiming at liberation, becomes free from desire, fear, and anger. One who is always in this state is certainly liberated. Thank you, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So here is the thing. So it says, Sparshan kritva bahirbhakyam chakshur chaivantare bhruvo. This is about yoga system. So Lord Krishna is explaining about the yoga system. So we all know, right? The yoga system. We are very proud of it. It's a very nice system. It's coming from India. And it, the yoga system is mentioned here in Bhagavad-gītā by Lord Krishna. So yoga system is meant for liberation. Yoga is meant for what? Yoga is meant for liberation. So that's the original purpose of yoga. So that's been clearly explained here by Lord Krishna, that how you can perform this yoga system, right? That is shutting down our senses, right? So shutting down the senses and focusing on the tip of the nose and concentrating between the two eyebrows. Okay, let us see that. So the thing is, if we do this process, the purpose is that we can attain liberation. We can attain liberation. The purpose is we can attain liberation. So Krishna is explaining Arjuna how you can perform this yoga, Ashtanga yoga. Ashtanga yoga, there are 8 limbs. Yama, Niyama, Prana, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. Yama and Niyama are regulative principles of the yoga system, do's and don'ts. And asana means sitting postures. Sitting postures. And pranayama is regulating your breath, regulating your breathing control, breathe control. Pratyahara is withdrawing your senses from the sense objects. See, the problem is most of the time we are not able to meditate because of these problems. What are the things? Our senses are entangled with the sense objects. One simple example is like our mobile phone is a sense object. So mobile phone, we may be watching YouTube videos. That is a sense object, correct? Or maybe we may be hearing some favorite music songs. That's a sense object, right? So we have to withdraw our senses from the sense object. So this is one of the limbs of the Ashtanga yoga system. So it's like going step by step. You see, first it starts with the do's and don'ts. So there's some basic do's and don'ts of yoga system. For example, celibacy. So you cannot be like not being celibate or not being brahmachari or excessively indulging in sex, etc., and still be doing yoga system. That's not possible. That's actually not allowed, or it's not a prescription. It's not recommended. It's don'ts. You must not be doing that. And also you should be having some kind of a simple food and easy to digest food. And before doing yoga, your food should have been digested, right? So there's some yoga teachers also here, right? So your food should have been digested by the time you're doing yoga. Am I right? So there's some basic rules here. And asana is the different sitting postures. They're very scientific also. This asana. By sitting in this asana, you can sit for a long time. That's advantage number one. For example, Padmasana, etc. You can sit for a long time in this asana. And not only that, it also balances the different airs inside the body. Okay, as per the Ayurveda, we have different pranavayu inside our body. All right, and then there is kapha, pitta, vata. These are three humors are there within the body. So what happens when you're sitting in different asana, doing different asanas? All this get balanced. You see, it gets balanced. All the airs get balanced. So when the airs get balanced, you can concentrate better. So if these airs are not balanced, what happens is you feel very disturbed. You can't sit and you can't meditate. You can't think about anything. You can't think about anything. Okay. So do's, don'ts, and sitting postures, pranayama. Pranayama is also very important. Pranayama is about breathing control. It is said that there is a direct relationship between our mind and breathing control. There has been scientific papers which are published to show that by doing certain rhythmic breathing exercises, people get a lot of stress relief. People are able to relieve from stress, and sometimes they're able to relieve themselves from chronic diseases also. That is because most of the people are stressed, and most of the diseases are due to stress. And when you do this regulated rhythmic breathing practices, pranayama, your mind comes to a calm state of mind. It becomes calm. Now that your mind is calm, you should do pratyahar. Pratyahar, like I said, should stay away from sense objects like mobile phone or TV, etc. at the time when you're doing yoga. Am I right? So you can't be like, watching a movie and doing yoga. It's very distracting. Or listening to the breaking news and not doing yoga. That's not possible, isn't it? Dharana and dhyana. So this is the system. Okay, we have to remember Lord Vishnu. We have to remember Lord Vishnu or Lord Kṛṣṇa, and we have to fix up our mind on Kṛṣṇa and how all his limbs, meditate upon the limbs of Lord Kṛṣṇa. That's called dharana and dhyana, meditation. And once we come to that, we come to the state of samadhi. In the state of samadhi, a devotee or a yogi is thinking about the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Is thinking about the different pastimes of the Supreme Lord. That point of time, the person is in samadhi. But what is important here is the goal of yoga system is not restricted to postures. Postures is the third one. There are 8 limbs. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then we are getting stuck at 3 and 4. What is that 3 and 4? Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama. That's it. So we are doing 4 out of 8. Even yama, niyama, if somebody is not doing, it's only 2 out of 8. So that's like 50%, 25% to 50%. There is 50% more. That's the actual part of it. That's the essence of yoga. The purpose of yoga is that. The purpose of yoga is you're meditating upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord Kṛṣṇa is explaining in Bhagavad-gītā. This is chapter number 5. It's just a hint. He's going to explain in detail. Now we are going to go to chapter number 6 very soon. And Kṛṣṇa is going to explain in detail how this yoga system must be performed. Very much in detail. So we can understand from that what is the essence of yoga system, how it is supposed to be performed, the original way. And Lord Kṛṣṇa is called as Yogeshwara. And this Shastra, Bhagavad-gītā, is called as Yoga Shastra. Yoga Shastra. So we may think, how is Bhagavad-gītā related with yoga? I thought that Patanjali Yoga Sutras is connected with yoga. Originally, yoga system is given by Lord Kṛṣṇa. Patanjali is a rishi. He is not Supreme Personality of Godhead. Patanjali is just a rishi. He has given a system based on what Lord Kṛṣṇa has given. This is the original system. Yoga Shastra. Bhagavad-gītā is the original yoga. So from that, Patanjali has given some kind of a codified structure or details. What kind of asanas, how you will do, how you sit down, how you will perform different things, different kinds of guidance, etc. Details. Here is the main point. So this is like an essence. We have to understand the essence. What is the purpose, essence, why we are doing it. So the purpose is liberation. And liberation means to understand one's spiritual identity. We are restricting ourselves to the body. Unfortunately, we are yoga system only for bodily adjustment. But the purpose is to understand spiritual identity. We are not the body. We are the spirit soul. And this spiritual identity can be revealed only by the means of devotional service. Only when you do devotional service, you can come to the transcendental position. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. Lord Krishna says, Bhaktyamam abhijanati. But the thing is, there are some people who choose this route of devotional service. This is also devotional service. And whatever we do is also devotional service. Whatever we do, we are chanting the holy names of Krishna. We are singing the names of Krishna. Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We are hearing about Krishna. We are hearing the stories of Krishna. Am I right? We are eating prasadam, associating with devotees, going to the holy land of Lord Krishna. This is also devotional service. And performing yoga system and meditating upon Vishnu is also devotional service. These are two yoga systems. There are multiple systems. Just like, Lord Krishna is like the expert of yoga. He gives multiple systems to Arjuna, like system number 1, system number 2, system number 3, system number 4. Now it is up to Arjuna to choose which one he wants or which one is suitable for him. You see? So Arjuna is going to be presented this chapter number 6 entirely, completely. Krishna is going to present the Ashtanga yoga system. Okay. While we generally talk about, most of the time we talk about the Bhakti yoga system. Bhakti yoga system. So there are two different systems. We will also see in the chapter number 6, towards the end of the chapter number 6, Arjuna will give his decision that which kind of yoga system is working for him. And then Krishna will tell his opinion. Which of these systems is the best? Which of these multiple systems, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, is the best? Krishna is going to explain that in the end of the chapter number 6. So stay tuned. I'm not going to reveal what it is. All right. So the thing is, we are doing all of this process of Ashtanga Yoga system, one of the yoga systems. And the ultimate purpose is to remember Krishna. Ultimate purpose is to meditate upon the transcendental form of Krishna. And when you do that, what happens is the yoga process, it helps you to mitigate fear and anger. You see, the reason why we are not able to establish ourselves in spiritual identity is because of these distractions. So one is desire, one is anger, one is fear. So sometimes like we have a desire that, okay, let me do something, let me eat, let me do that. So all the time we are driven by these desires, which are distracting our mind. We can't sit down and meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there is the fear. So sometimes we become suddenly fearful that, oh, if I'm going to sit down now and spend 1 hour, then something is going to happen. Oh my God, let me run. So this is called fear. So we are always fearful about the future, that something is going to happen, something is going to happen. That's fear. So most of the time, this fear is baseless. It's just simply a feeling. There's no real basis for that fear. And the other distraction for us is the anger. So for example, let's say you're sitting down for meditation, and then let's say your spouse is doing something which you don't like, maybe touching some vessels which you think that should not be used at this point. And then you'll suddenly say, you're doing pranayama, and then you suddenly shout, stop, 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 stop. I told you 100 times, don't touch that. Right? So this is what happens, isn't it? This is called anger. Right? And when you're angry, right, how can you do meditation? How can you think about Krishna? How can you do any kind of spiritual process? So anger is actually an enemy for Krishna consciousness. For devotional service, anger is an enemy, it's a distraction. So that's the reason why Krishna is saying the person who is able to get free from anger and desire, such a person can be happy. That's the secret for happiness. We're looking for happiness formulas everywhere. There are many courses. There are some coaches who teach happiness and they charge millions of dollars. And people are very happy to pay millions of dollars. They go through all the workshop to find happiness. But here is a formula. It's so simple as this. You don't have to pay $1,000,000, thousands of rupees, lakhs of rupees. The formula is right here. Just stay free from desire and anger and do devotional service. One is meditation system, and we have bhakti yoga system. Multiple systems are there. Krishna has presented all the systems, and Krishna also has concluded which system is the best. Next, it's up to you to choose. But somehow or the other, doesn't matter which system, but just yena kena prakarena mana Krishna nivechayat. First, you think about Krishna somehow, whether it is Ashtanga yoga system or Karma yoga system or Bhakti yoga system. Somehow, just remember Krishna. That's the point. Because a Krishna conscious person, he is able to control his senses very nicely. That's the idea, to be able to control our senses. So we are able to get the complete control of the senses by performing Krishna consciousness. That's the reason. That's the ultimate goal. Bhagavad-gītā, the goal is how we can remember Krishna in multiple different ways. Krishna is telling all the arguments for us. How we can remember Krishna, how we can serve Krishna, how we can do devotional service. Okay, this is going to help us a lot. All right, thank you. So let's wind up this shloka here. Thank you. If anybody has any questions, yeah, feel free to ask if you have any questions. Questions? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
The real yogi probably goes through all the 8 stages of the yoga system, and he's able to achieve what is that called? Samadhi, meaning love of Godhead, or focus on Godhead. And they are also able to, they're like mystics. Correct, no? They even achieve some mysticism through this yoga system. That is what I'm thinking. So they are able to have longevity. They attain longevity through this process because of their breathing, and they're able to align themselves with the consciousness of the universe, keeping Krishna in mind. This is what I know about yoga, Prabhuji. It is quite useful, but for people like us who was just stuck up at asanas and pranayama, we have none of us, I mean, none of the current yoga teachers go ahead till the samadhi stage. I think so.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
otherwise,
Most of the time we are at first 4 stages. Right?
yes, this is also one of the paths, and some may go through it.
Yeah, that's right. This is one of the bona fide paths that Krishna is explaining in Bhagavad-gītā. Some of
Yes,
them may be successful. There may be some people who are successful.
some of our religious leaders, and maybe they were also doing in those days, they never this was a kind of discipline that they went through, so that they have longevity, don't have diseases, that they prevented diseases through all these.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of yogis who come for Kumbh Mela. I've heard that there are some
Yeah,
people
they
who are
control
500
their
years old,
food, so many things they do, Prabhuji. It's not
hundreds of
just
years old.
asanas.
Yeah,
So
the hundreds
that
of
is
years old yogis are
yes.
there who come to the Kumbh Mela. I've heard that.
And
Okay,
this is
some of them have
available
some
only to
mystic
us.
powers also.
None of the Westerners and all follow. They've learned from us. They're learning from us. So
That's
this
right.
is quite a, I mean, science which it is worth learning it.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So of course, the West has embraced it like never before. It's a big thing in the West.
And if you and do your bhakti along with it, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, but the thing is, Nobody is doing it. That's the problem. First of all, what has happened is that we have removed the essence out of the yoga system. That's the problem. No, see, there
Pardon,
are eight
Prabhuji?
limbs, right? Eight limbs.
Yes.
We have removed the 50%, the heart and soul of it. We removed it. We're just
Yeah.
practicing the first four, which is only giving some physical.
Maybe if you do first 4 and then you do Bhakti Yoga, it is enough.
It will be useful. It will be definitely.
Yes, very useful.
Yeah, it will be
Thank you,
useful.
Prabhuji,
Yeah,
for
we will
wonderful.
see in the coming shlokas more about that. I don't want to reveal everything right now because chapter 6 is there and we will discuss all of that. We'll have a detailed comparison of Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, etc. Okay.
Thank you,
All right.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Let's do the Narsimarti. Who wants to sing Narsimarti? Now, interesting. We're switching, right? See, whatever we're doing, this is also yoga system. This is a slightly different yoga system. It's not like the Ashtanga yoga system where you're expected to do some asanas. There are some people who are doing asanas right now, but we are doing slightly different. This is singing the glories of Lord, singing the glories of the Lord. Right? This is Kirtanam, Shravanam, Kirtanam. This is Bhakti Yoga. So we are going to now experience Bhakti Yoga for the next 20 minutes. So this is a highly effective process. It's actually more effective than Ashtanga Yoga. Okay, so we'll practically experience that right now. Okay, it's an experience. So just I want everybody to be attentive here. Just be here, be present. Whatever you're doing, stop doing what you're doing. Just be present and let's sing Narsimarti. Then I'm going to tell you one story of Lord Narsimha of a very famous, very ancient temple. Beautiful story. And then I'm going to explain two Bhagavatam shlokas. This is practical yoga at work. Okay, so let's try it out. Hare Krishna. Yes, Narsimharti, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Right?
Yes, yes,
Krishna. Pranam Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladadadaini. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Silatankanakaলাই. Hito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha. Bahir Narsimha Radai Narsimha. Narasimha Madam Sharanam Prapadye. Tavakar Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanabhrungam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hari Jai Jagadish Hari Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanabhrungam Keshavadruta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hari Jai Jagadish Hari Jaya Narsimhadev 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 Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya 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 Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Har Garibo Haribo Haribo Nitai Gaur Haribo Jai Shri Bhagwan.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
Thank you,
So I'm going to
Prabhuji.
explain it. Thank you very much. Yes. So we are talking about yoga system here, and then we don't have to do any asanas. And what is interesting about this yoga system, Bhakti yoga system, is when you're doing this Bhakti yoga, that is just simply hearing, right? Hearing and chanting. Hearing and chanting. Just now, Mataji did chanting. Chanting means kirtana. Hearing means shravanam. Shravanam, kirtanam. So just now we did shravanam and kirtanam. And now this shravanam and kirtanam is so powerful. These 9 processes are so powerful that all the processes of Ashtanga Yoga, including Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Dhyana, Dharana, Pratyahara, Samadhi, everything is covered in Bhakti Yoga. So you can be any kind of physical posture, or may not be in a proper state of bodily health for performing yoga. But always, as long as you have ears to hear and you are having voice to speak, you are capable enough for doing yoga system. Or even just mind, even mind is enough. Even if none of the senses are working also, all you need is mind for Bhakti Yoga. Okay, let's see that. I'm going to show you. I'm going to take you to a place. So tell me, how many of you are right now in Tamil Nadu? Anybody here from Tamil Nadu at the moment? Let's go to Tamil Nadu. Okay, I'm going to take you to Tamil Nadu right now. Let me share my screen. Okay, here it is. This is Singri Kudi. Singri Kudi in Vellore. Are you able to see this? This is Singri Kudi from Vellore. It's a very ancient temple. And let us take the darshan of Lord. Okay. Can anybody count and tell me how many hands are there for Lord? Let's see who gets this right first.
Ten hands, Prabhuji.
How many?
10.
No,
12. 16, Prabhuji.
yeah, that's right. 16. 16 is the right answer. Haribol. So 16-handed form of Lord Narasimhadev. So this is like the 16-handed form of the Lord Narasimhadev. Let me talk about this. So this is like around 21 kilometers from the Vellore railway station. Vellore is a city in Tamil Nadu. It's nearby to Bangalore. I'm sure many of you would have heard about it or even traveled also. So there is this Sri Lakshmi Narasimha Swami temple. It's dedicated to Lord Narasimha, and it is situated on a hillock. It's like on a small hill. It's just 80 feet high. Not very big hill, small hill. And you have to take 100 steps. And this temple that we see right now was constructed in the 8th century. So that is nearly 1200 years old. This is built by Raja Varman. And he got a dream in which Lord Narasimha instructed him to construct a temple for him. And the deities are very old. Prahlad Maharaj, it is believed that Prahlad Maharaj has worshipped the Ugra Narasimha deity here. After the pastime of Lord Narasimha killing Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj had worshipped Ugra Narasimha here. There's also another story. The Sthala Purana says here that there was a king called Nimi. The king Nimi, who was from the Surya Vamsha, solar dynasty. Okay, he comes in the dynasty of Lord Ramachandra. So Nimi, he wanted to perform a fire sacrifice for getting some kind of powers. And he approached Vashishta. We all know Vashishta is the Kula Guru for the Surya Vamsha. Like for Lord Ramachandra also, Vashishta was the Guru. So he goes and he asks him, but he says, not right now, we'll do it later. And he says, maybe we'll do it later. And he actually objects and he doesn't do it. So then Nimi, he goes to Kaushika Rishi, Kaushika Muni. And then Kaushika Muni helps him perform the sacrifice and he gets all the powers that he wanted. And when Vashishta got to know that Nimi has performed the sacrifice without his permission, despite him saying that is not available, so he goes ahead and gives him a curse that his body will be separated from the soul. That means the soul will come out of the body. So he no longer has a body. He's just having the subtle body. That's it. He knows that he's so and so person, but the body is not there. So Nimi, when he got to know Maharaj, he also counter cursed Vashishta that you also will be separated from your body. So even Vashishta got separated from his body. So Nimi, he wanted to see the darshan of the Supreme Lord, and he worshipped the Lord, and then he got a boon that he will be able to see the darshan of Lord Narasimha through the devotees. So any devotees who are going to this temple, Nimi Maharaj will be able to see the darshan through them. And Vashishta, who lost his body, he, upon the advice of Lord Brahma, performed a penance, austerity at Krishnaranya Kshetram in the Singirikudi. And then there he worshipped Lord Narasimhadev. Lord Narasimhadev with Lakshmi gave darshan there. And he worshipped Lord Narasimha there. So this is the deity we can see. There are 16 hands. In 2 hands there is Shankha Chakra. And the 3rd hand is on his lap. 4th hand on the waist of Lakshmi. Right? And then we have 2 hands killing Hiranyakashipu. And the other hands holding various weapons. Various weapons which were used to defeat that Hiranyakashipu. And it is said in this temple, in the morning, there's a different kind of darshan. Evening, there's a different darshan. In the morning, it is Bala Narsim. Bala Narsimha. In the sense, it is like a Shanta Rupa. And in the evening, Ugra Narsimha. Ugra. So the dressing is done such a way that evening it is Ugra. Okay. And another interesting fact about this temple is facing west. See, generally, Lord Vishnu temples are facing the east. But this temple is facing west. That is something which is very special about it, because there are very, very few temples which face the west. And the outer walls have very beautiful postures of Lord Narasimha. And there's a lovely temple pond there, which has a lot of big fishes in it. And a temple chariot is also there. And the celebrated festivals here are Narasimha Jayanti, Vaikunta Ekadashi, Ratha Saptami. And on Swati Nakshatra, I told you, Swati Nakshatra is very special. You know, the reason is Swati Nakshatra is the birth star or appearance star of Lord Narasimha, Swati. How many of you are from Swati? Anybody here? Swati Nakshatra? Okay, no one. So Swati Nakshatra is special because Lord Narasimhadev's appearance, Nakshatra. And then there is an interesting thing is there are 4 more temples nearby. And 3 of these temples, it is considered that, you should visit all the temples on the same day. It is considered very auspicious if it's possible. They are near Villipuram on the Trichy National Highway. All right. And they are on a single straight line. Actually, it's very interesting. You see, on the Google map, if you see, there is an exact straight line, within like 1,000 kilometers, exact straight line. So it's actually very wonderful because these temples are very ancient temples, right? We don't even know how old they are. How is it possible that without Google map or anything, how the ancient temples were constructed exactly in a straight line? Okay, so these are like very interesting fact. So that's about this wonderful temple. And so if you go to Vellore, don't miss going to this temple. All right, great. Now we'll go to the Srimad Bhagavatam. We have some 2 powerful verses, okay? Very powerful verses by Prahlad Maharaj. Now that we just sang Narsimharti, we took darshan of Lord Narasimha. Now we're going to hear some very powerful verses for today, okay? From Srimad Bhagavatam. Who wants to read this? Anyone?
Shall I, Prabhuji?
Yeah, good.
Hare Krishna. प्रायेण देवमुनयः स्वविमुक्तिकामा मौनं चरन्ति विजनेन परार्थनिष्ठाः नैतान् विहाय कृपणान् विमुक्ष एको नान्यं त्वत्तस्य शरणं रमतोऽन्युपश्ये. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Translation also, can you read?
Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, go ahead.
Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Lord Narasimhadeva, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance. Not caring for the big cities and towns, they go to the Himalayas or the forests to meditate with vows of silence, Mauna Vrata. They are not interested in delivering others. As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all those poor fools and rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to shelter at your lotus feet. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you. So we were speaking about different yogis, Kumbh Mela, etc. We all know, I'm not speaking about them. So some of them are hundreds of years old, thousands of years old. But you see, these yogis, they are interested in their own liberation. They're not interested in liberation of others. So they go to the Himalayas or the forest and they meditate in the Mauna Vrata. And Prahlad Maharaj is saying, as far as I am concerned, I don't want to be liberated alone. I just want to be sure that if I'm going to be liberated, I'm going to take everybody along with me and liberate myself. Okay? So how many of you love Prahlad Maharaj's mood? So type 1 or 2. I tell you, if you like the yogis who are only interested in their own liberation, who go to the Himalayas, type 1. If you like Prahlad Maharaj, who is not only interested in his own liberation, but he wants to take everybody who is suffering back to God, type 2 in the chat. Let me see who is getting more votes, Prahlad Maharaj or these yogis. Let me see the chat. 1 or 2? 2. So we have, everybody is putting 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Right? So another interesting point, he's saying, I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. We were talking about happiness formula, right? We said, we should be free from desire and anger. Even let us say if somebody is free from desire and anger, he cannot be happy. That's what Prahlad Maharaj is saying. He's continuing to say that even that's not enough. Even if you're completely free from desire, completely free from anger, you may be like, for example, like a Buddhist monk, still you cannot be happy. That's still not going to give you happiness. Happiness is in Krishna consciousness. Happiness is Krishna consciousness. Anandamayo bhyasat. Anandamaya. That means full of spiritual bliss. There's so much of happiness. Anandir Simanai. That means there's no limit, unlimited happiness. Unlimited happiness. If you want to experience unlimited happiness, it's in Krishna consciousness. In hearing the pastimes of the Lord, in hearing his wonderful exploits, in hearing about his wonderful pastimes of the Supreme Personality of God, and hearing these wonderful prayers by Prahlad Maharaj, which are so powerful, this gives us happiness. Saying one cannot be happy, whatever you may do, it's not going to give you happiness. Even meditation system, vipassana, mindful techniques, law of manifestation, being in the present, everything, all the systems, nothing is going to be making you happy except Krishna consciousness. Without taking the shelter of Lord Narasimha, Lord Krishna, we can never be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to your shelter. Such a powerful verse. So the next verse is like more powerful. How many of you want more power? Type me in the chat. So are you ready for this? So Prahlad Maharaj is giving something more powerful. Type me in the chat. Let me see how many of you want to hear this. The next one. The next sloka by Prahlad Maharaj, one of the most quoted verses in Srimad Bhagavatam by Srila Prabhupada. Very, very wonderful verse. Okay, it's going to be really powerful and hitting. Okay, that's why I'm warning you. Here we go. Let's go. Who wants to read this?
May I try, Prabhuji?
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah, one of you, please. Who's going?
Carry on, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji, thank you. Yanmaitunaadigrahmedhi sukham hitucham kanduyanena karayoriva dukkha dukkham tripayanti neha kripana bahu dukkha bhajah kanduta ivana manasijam vishaheta dhiraha. Translation: Sex life is compared to the rubbing of two hands to relieve an itch. Grahamedhis, so-called Grahastha who have no spiritual knowledge, think that this itching is the greatest platform of happiness, although actually it is a source of desires. The Kripnas, the fools who are just the opposite of Brahmanas, are not satisfied by repeated sensuous enjoyment. Those who are Dhira, however, who are sober and who tolerate this itching, are not subjected to the suffering of fools and rascals. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much
Thank you
for
so
the
much. Thank you so
opportunity.
much. Yeah, very wonderful verse. Very wonderful verse. The way Prabhupada pronounced it. Yan maitunadi gruhamedi sukham hitucham. That's how he punches in his classes. It's so wonderful to hear Prabhupada lectures, right? It's Yan maitunadi gruhamedi sukham hitucham. Tucham means, what is tucham? It's like nonsense. It's like that. Okay. So it's like insignificant. This maituna or the sex life is like an itch. The Grihamedis, who is involved in this sex life, is Grihamedis. Grihamedis means family people, householders, husband and wife. But there's a difference between Grihamedi and Grihastha. Anybody knows what's the difference between Grihamedi and Grihastha? Quickly.
Grihamedis are, or think about only sense enjoyment, and Grihasthas are Krishna conscious.
Yeah, that's right. Grihasthas are Krishna conscious husband and wife. So Krishna conscious husband and wife, they have a regulated sex life, and the purpose is for getting children who are Krishna conscious. The purpose is not sense enjoyment. But those who are not Krishna consciousness, those who are not Krishna conscious, the purpose of sexual pleasure is just for some kind of a recreation. It's a recreation. It's like a happiness. It's like some kind of exercise. So the thing is, sex life is like compared to an itch. It says here, Kanduyanena karayoriva dukkha dukkham. Very powerful statement. Kanduyanena karayoriva dukkha dukkham means, just imagine, we all have the experience of this, that if there's an itch, maybe there's a mosquito bite, there's an itch, or maybe there's some kind of a rash. So what happens? What do we do? What is the instantaneous thing that we feel like doing? Anybody can say, what do you feel like doing when there's an itch? Right?
You just scratch.
You start scratching it. Then, slowly you scratch, and the itch help. What happens to the itch then?
It worsens.
It worsens. It becomes reddish, and then it becomes something else, right? It actually worsens the thing. But then there's an itch. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying, sex life is like an itch. So you have to just tolerate that itch. That's it. It's better to tolerate that itch rather than scratch it. If you scratch it, it's only going to cause distress. It's actually going to cause distress. So those who are dhira, who are sober and who tolerate this itching, they are not subject to the sufferings of the fools and rascals. Just for this itch, we're losing all our life, right? We're losing all our spiritual life, and we're losing a lot. There's a lot at stake just because of this itch, right? So he's saying it's just a skin itch. That's it. It's just a matter of rubbing the skin. That's it. So just avoid it. Just dhira, a sober person, just tolerates the itch. That's it. And then he remains Krishna conscious, and he wins over this material world. All right. So that was very wonderful shlokas from Srimad Bhagavatam, 2 powerful shlokas. We're coming towards a conclusion, like we are almost like in the 27th day today. So almost 3 more days for Narsimha Bhaktivigna Vinasha challenge. So I want to know, how many of you are still doing that? How many of you are still chanting 8 rounds or above? Type me in the chat. Let me see. How many of you are still there? How many of you are chanting 8 rounds or above? Or just raise your hands, electronic hands. You see Ruby Nath Mataji, Sonal Takar Mataji, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, Indra Hardas Mataji also. Okay, that's great. Komala Mataji also, very nice. Chanting 8 rounds or above. Amazing. That's very good. How many of you are doing Tulsi Aarti every single day? Tulsi Aarti. Raise your hand. Siddhi Mataji. Tulsi Aarti. Who is doing it every single day? Tulsi Aarti. Jai, 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 Jai. Rubinath, Sonal Mataji, Siddhi Mataji, Komala Mataji, Manju Mataji, Manisha Mataji. Jai. So tell me your experience. How are you feeling when you're doing Tulsi Aarti? How do you feel? One of you, quickly. How are you feeling?
Near to Krishna.
You're feeling near to Krishna. That's great. That's great. Tulsi Maharani is very dear to Krishna. Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namah. She is very dear to Krishna. So therefore, if you worship Tulsi, you will feel more devotional. Okay. All right. So let's chant. Let's conclude this session with Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu chants. So yes, who is going to do it today? Who didn't get a chance so far? Who
Hare
didn't get a
Krishna.
chance?
Can
Yeah.
I?
Go ahead, please. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narsingham Bhishanam Badram Mrityum Namamyaham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narsingham Bhishanam Badram Mrityum Namamyaham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasingham Bhishanam Badram Mrityum Namamyaham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasingham Bhishanam Badram Mrityum Namamyaham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasingham Bhishanam Badram Mrityum Namamyaham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasingham Bhishanam Badram Mrityum Namamyaham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasingham Bhishanam Badram Mrityum Namamyaham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasingham Bhishanam Badram Mrityum Namamyaham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasingham Bhishanam Badram Mrityum Namamyaham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasingham Bhishanam Badram Mrityum Namamyaham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasingham Bhishanam Badram Mrityum Namamyaham. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so may I know, like, how many of you are coming for Panihati? Who is coming for Panihati this Sunday, 23rd of July? Who is that?
Me. Siddhi Mataji.
Siddhi Mataji Jai. Who else is coming? Only one from 14. Only one? Who else? So 23rd of July, very nice opportunity. It's a Snana Yatra of Lord Jagannath. It's our own very dear Lord Jagannath, Baldev Subhadramai. We do Snana Yatra. It's a very wonderful festival. Happens only once in a year. Okay, so
Prabhuji, the deities are taken there.
yes. And then
The
we
main
do Abhishek.
deities only. Main
Yes.
deities or
Main deities, I think.
oh my God, so nice, Prabhuji.
Yes, it's going to be amazing. They're going to do bathing ceremony for the Lord.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
This is the last year when the Lordship will be going to Kaveri, to Panihati. From next year, it will not be. So please don't miss the opportunity to go. Everybody can come. Like, the Lordship, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra will not be going for the Panihati festival from next year. The Snan Yatra will be held in the temple premises only.
Okay. So that's like a combination of a bad news and a good news. The good news is we are doing this.
No, it's not a bad news because it will be happening. It will be happening because we will be taking Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu to this, but only the Lordship Jagannath, because usually they do not take them, and so we have decided that we will also follow. They come out of the temple premises only on the Rath Yatra day. So, keeping with norms, we will be following this.
Okay, so this is the last year we're doing this.
Yeah, we will be having Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra at the country.
So last year, Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Maya are coming for Snana Yatra with all of us.
So from next year onward, it will be held in the premises of the temple. You can do the Abhishek in the temple.
Got it, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you so much for telling that. So here is the last opportunity for us to do the Snana Yatra of the Lord. Okay, from next year on, we will be going for Panihati, but Lordships won't come with us. We won't have the opportunity to bath, Lord, in the Kaveri. We'll be doing it in the temple premises. Okay, so don't miss this chance. Please come. I'll be happy to see all of you. Okay, I'm looking forward to see all of you there. Okay, so please register soon. The buses are getting finalized and decided. Each area there's a bus and they're getting closed. So just very quickly register if you have not registered yet. Okay, looking forward to see all of you in the Panihati festival. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. Have a nice day. Dhanavad Pranams.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, Prabhuji.